What's up, everybody? This is Zach and Dre with Skol Sessions. We're just going to hop right into it. Your Minnesota Vikings stumbled this past weekend in Cincinnati, 27-24. 2 years ago to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow wasn't present, and we still lose to a backup quarterback.
Hey, not just any backup quarterback. Not just any backup quarterback. They call him Big Jake Browning. That's what they call him over there. Um, man, it was so let's start off by saying it was a great game, right? Amazing game. You had two gunslingers like Nick Mullens. We haven't seen Nick Mullens play a lot, right? So to kind of see him out there, you're gonna live by the gun, you're gonna die by the gun. So what I mean is he has those passes, those third down passes to TJ Hawkinson, and you had to have him. And he made those plays, right? And then at the same time, you had those plays where he gave the defensive tackle a little breadbasket. He gave him a little breadbasket interception and some costly interceptions. But it was refreshing to put up 24 points when we put up 3 the week prior. So
Right.
I mean, you can take that where you want to take that. It looks like it was the best option for the Minnesota Vikings at the time. Kevin O'Connell agreed with what we said because Dobbs wasn't only moved to backup. Dobbs is picking up the Gatorade right now, helping everybody on third string. So yeah, you can take that where you want to take it. Nick Mullens was 26 of 33, 303, 2 TDs. If I was telling you you're getting that from Nick Mullens, you'll take that any day out the week, right? Obviously, the part that sucks is those 2 interceptions, and it could have been 3. Um, but I like seeing the offense wake back up. You know,
Yep.
Kevin O'Connell's an offensive minded coordinator and coach for a reason. I think he coached one of his best games this season due to circumstances. Your boy Jordan Addison continued to show you why he was one of the best selections in this draft. 2 TDs, 6 receptions, a buck 11, and then this conversation. Madison's the top dog, or maybe we should split. We should split some carries with Madison. That's done. That is done. 23 carries, a buck 32, a TD. I think that was the first 100-yard game we had in a while. And it wasn't just the yardage. You could see the explosiveness, bro. Like I remember seeing one play, I believe it was in the second half. It was a handoff, and the dude just accelerated through the first end of the defense. So we have something with him. I love it. 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 We'll need him in this playoff push. Um, that didn't stop your boy though. That didn't stop your boy second half. That didn't stop your boy second half. You should have never cut me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 29 from 42, 324 on that Flores defense, 324, 2 TDs and a pick. And I seen the tweets. If everybody out there didn't know, me and Zach have different opinions on Twitter, but you know, he says what he says, I say what I say.
Yep.
You said bum 50-50 passes. Those were 2 passes. But the other 27 passes and that dart that dart to Boyd overtime. Bye-bye. Look. You guys go grab some chili. It's gonna be a cold flight home. Grab some chili. Enjoy that flight home. Game winner. And then he said what he said. So Mixon, 10 carries, 47 yards, a TD. But we know what the real discussion is.
Yep.
Ivan Pace has been a dog all season. Ivan Pace has been a dog all season. One of the leaders on the defense. It's the goal line. Lowest man wins, and whoever wants it more wins. Joe Mixon won that. You know, he won that match, unfortunately. And I'm sure he said something that Fox blurred out, you know, to Ivan Pace after he scored. And Ivan Pace had a few words for him after the game. And I love that. I love that energy because it shows you Ivan Pace, he takes it personal. Like he really cares. You know what I mean? Like you got players dapping up and showing love, you know, after the game, which they should. But Ivan Pace, he still felt a certain type of way about it, which I love. So it was a close game. I told you the Vikings were going to lose. Um, the only reason I said that is because when the Vikings can handle their own business and then they can win and get in. They usually stumble with these type of games. Also, the Bengals are a hot team, and they didn't do it the way I expected. I didn't think Mullens was going to go off, but they lost. So I mean, that's how I see it, bro. Talk to me. How do you feel about that? Jake Brown and offense led Bengals
Well,
win.
hey, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, Jake Browning. All right,
Okay.
the man's won 3 games, and
Okay.
everybody in the NFL wants to crown him. Underdog story, got cut. Washington
Right.
Husky,
Hey.
Zimmer cut him, Spillman cut him.
Right.
He got it off his chest. He did,
Hey.
but
Hey.
I want to give you a small prediction of what I think Jake Browning. He's earned his money. He's going to earn his money. He'll go play somewhere next year, 2-year contract, 3-year contract,
Right. Right.
like a,
Right.
a Derek Carr looking contract, and he'll be a
Okay.
backup quarterback again before his career is over. I can assure you. So I don't want to
Okay.
crown him yet. He played well against our defense.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
say that
Okay.
the third quarter and fourth quarter, but I'm not going to crown him. I think he played well. I think he's done a little too much. So, but Ivan Pace,
Right. Right.
He was ready to strap. I mean, he left the helmet. The helmet was buckled. He
Right.
walked over there. He already knew. He was ready for what time it was.
Right. And
Um,
to Joe Mixon's defense, because when you win, you can do that. You can go, well, look at the scoreboard. You know what I mean? Like when you win, you have that defense. Ivan
yeah,
Pace wasn't trying to hear none of that.
none of that. But no, I thought, as far as like Nick Mullens and our offense, kind of the KOC conversation that's kind of been trending right now.
Right.
Fire KOC. You got
Right.
Viking fans just coming out of left field saying fire
Right.
KOC.
Right. Right. Right.
And no, I like you said, and I agree with you that this was one of his best coach games based
Mm-hmm.
on circumstance, and our offense
Right.
looks smooth. I mean, as far as those red zone turnovers, which Kevin O'Connor really can't control that. Nick Mullens out there trying to make a play,
Right.
but
Right. Right. Right.
our offense was driving the ball. We
Right.
couldn't stop them; they couldn't stop us, type thing, and it came down to the wire. And that's you know, but yeah, I think going forward, I'm excited to see Tyson Chandler get
Mm.
the get the carries, see
Right.
what Nick Mullens can do week 2. Kind of got the interception jitters out. Hopefully, going Detroit, which will be hosting Detroit, so
Right.
big
He
division game coming up.
he a Southern Miss boy. Your boy Brett Favre came out of that same college. It's funny they play similar. I'm not saying he's Brett
They
Favre in
do.
any way, but they play that that passionate, reckless, in a sense, style football. They're gonna throw it up. They're gonna throw
He's
it
gonna
up.
throw it.
He may throw it to the other team, but he gonna throw it. I want to go over kind of a few plays with you. T. Higgins, 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", 200 pounds. I'm gonna need that. And not only am I gonna need that, I'm gonna stretch those arms out, see if I can get in the end zone. And your secondary, they got the best seat in the house, so I guess they trying to see if I'm gonna get in the end zone too, because nobody came over there to help. Evans out when the play was happening.
You talking about Mekhi Blackman, number 5,
Yeah, Makai. Hey,
quarterback,
and
chilling
once
in the end
again,
zone with
and
his
once
hands on his
again,
hip?
Makai Blackman's been a dog, but I mean, hey,
Yeah.
he had that 4K ultra clear just seat on the play, and he
Yep.
was just looking like, damn, that's a big boy doing that's a big boy doing it. Um, we discussed this earlier today. The corners have been lights out, bro. Corners have been doing their thing. The whole secondary has been lights out.
Oh
Metellus,
yeah.
Cam Bynum, Harrison Smith, still Harrison Smith. But there comes plays where I feel like maybe the secondary has a little bit of trouble with those jump balls. Cortland Sutton, left corner of the end zone. Bye. That's a game winner. I'm curious to see what Flores does in regards to that. God-given ability, a dude 6'3" in year 5'11" or 5'10". It is what it is, but maybe a little bit more defensive recognition in regards to trying to push him out or a prayer just throw a hand up. I'm curious to see how they can fix that issue because that's been an issue with them big boy receivers this year.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think that because we haven't really experienced all these, we've been shutting teams out, man. That's what
Right,
we've been
right,
doing this year.
right,
There hasn't been that many explosive plays on us. We're leading the league, and so I think because we're not doing it on a weekly basis. Like you can't
right,
practice they're not practicing jump balls at practice. They're just not doing that. get
Right,
people
right, right,
injured. They're probably
right,
not doing that. We got a jump ball, like you freeze. Like our and you've
right.
noticed that throughout the weeks that our defensive backs have been like frozen in those moments.
Right.
Makai Blackman in the end zone last time. So, hopefully we
Yeah.
can make some adjustments. I think we needed this game. The Flores defense needed this game. Going from,
Mm.
not looking too hot the first 4 or 5 weeks to gelling it together
Right,
to making it a top five defense, and then it had this little hiccup
right,
second
right,
half, three
right.
straight touchdowns after we haven't given up a touchdown in who knows how many quarters.
True. That's true.
So I'm looking forward to Brian Flores making that adjustment now with
Yeah.
going forward.
J Jet is back. And it's cliche, bro. NFL players, they say, it's just another game. You know what I mean? But Justin Jefferson had this game circled. He's had this game circled on the calendar. The
Mm-hmm.
two big dog receivers in the NFL are Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. And they even said something like Jamar Chase is like, I'm the best receiver in the league. And then Justin
Right.
Jefferson responded with, I'm not even gonna respond to that. Like y'all already know what it is. Your boy came back, 7 receptions, 84 yards, about a 12-yard average. Stats are cool. But what I liked was that juice, that energy, that
Yes.
uh, you know what I
Let's
mean? And
go.
that you know what I mean? Just that like, hey, don't get it confused. I'm him, and I can come back and show you. The elusiveness, the route running, the releases on the route. Pay that man. Pay
Hey,
that
open
man.
absolutely. It opened
Pay
the
that
whole
man.
offense up. It
It
opened
did.
the whole
It did.
offense. I
It
mean,
did.
come on, Jordan Addison's getting all these catches. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
It's not a coincidence. Justin Jefferson is back. That's opening up the offense.
Right. So last thing on the game I want to kind of discuss with you is overtime, 3rd and 1. You need it. You need it. 3rd and 1, you need it. You're not the Philadelphia Eagles. You're not, Hurts that squat 600 pounds. You didn't make it the first one. Cool. Let's run it back. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna put Powell back there. Mullens, he felt that lick the first time, so the second time they ran it back, he wasn't as aggressive and forward. You can kind of see the hesitation, and you can kind of see the body language was more sideways than forward.
Yep.
Um, Garrett Bradbury, I'm gonna give credit when credit's due. You know that he's been playing hell of a season this year, and he played hell of a season last year. Garrett Bradbury is who Garrett Bradbury is. He's gotten better, but when it's time to box in that ring,
Mm-mm.
he sometimes he doesn't have the power to do. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that power when it's those big defensive tackles. And you fell short. You fell short with the game on the line. Obviously, Kevin O'Connell, coached his ass off, but those specific 2 plays, I feel like obviously is the reason, the Viking fan base is kind of like, it's another questionable, play call when a game's on the line. I personally disagree. I don't think it was Kevin O'Connell's play calling. And you know me, I'll call a spade a spade. I think it was just the players not, doing what they needed to do and get the job done.
They didn't
Um,
execute it. I
they
mean, I
didn't
think
execute. They didn't execute. Correct.
yeah. I don't. I think there was actually a bobbled snap on one of the 2 plays, maybe both,
Okay.
but there was
Okay.
a bobbled snap. So that I wish they would have done like a play action on third, or even just handed Tyson on third, then tried the quarterback. Then it's a
Right.
different situation. But to
Right.
go back to back, I
I
don't know, man.
I respect it because it's like big boy football. Like we're gonna impose our will, and we're gonna get this yard, and there's nothing you can do about it. But once again, you don't have the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. You have a right tackle that is just got put in the game because O'Neal was injured, and I believe you have a guard that got interchanged too. Like you just don't have a fully healthy offensive line right now. You did it. I respect the call. The execution was just trash.
Yeah.
You have CJ Ham. CJ Ham's still on the team, right?
Right.
He's still a Viking.
Right. I mean, they're not utilizing him. Like, come on, give him the rock, bro. I mean,
The only thing I can think of is with the Brandon Powell thing. Maybe it was kind of oh, you may think we're going to run a fake or something a misdirectional play,
right.
but you do that on 3rd down, 4th down. I want the big boys in there. I want Oliver in there. I want CJ Ham in there, and we're gonna do it. If we're gonna get in that boxing ring, we're gonna get in that boxing ring. So to me, I understand the play call. I don't necessarily agree with the play call, but I understand it. Like I said, O'Connell coached one of his best games this season, personally, in my opinion. And not only that, O'Connell this past week, obviously with the benching of Josh Dobbs and finally understanding he may not be the best option for us to win right now, to a point where he's sitting third string and you have the young pup behind him. Um, it was needed even though it's a tough loss. I feel like this is the best direction for the Minnesota Vikings. You know me, I'm a big Darren Hall guy. I feel like he still gives you the best chance of winning, and obviously in the future. But I can understand why the Vikings feel like Mullens is the best option right now. I mean, you know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I would say Mullins is the best option, especially, first game over 300 yards,
Right,
2 touchdowns. He was feeding JJ. He was getting, he was spreading the ball out. And
right,
Kevin O'Connell made adjustments. If you watched we put up 7 points in the first half, and
mm,
then we put up the additional 17 in the
right,
second half. And that was a test to Kevin O'Connell making adjustments
right,
for Nick Mullins. And
right.
he kept throwing to the outside compared to right in the
Mm-hmm.
center of everything, and
Mm-hmm.
that was helping Nick Mullins out a lot, and we scored a couple times.
There's one specific throw to JJ that there was a similar throw that Dobbs did that got your man hurt for a week. But Mullins threw it low and away. So JJ still had a chance of catching the ball, but he also had a chance of protecting himself.
Right.
So take that information, where you want to take it.
Well, should we take it to the film room?
No, bro, we don't do that. We don't do that. We're just average Joes. We don't do that. We don't do that. I guess Kevin O'Connell doesn't do that either because that dude's third string now. Um,
Right.
but all jokes aside, we obviously, I mean, Kurt Warner is who Kurt Warner is. He's a legend.
Absolutely.
We have ultimate respect for him. I was a Rams fan with Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and those boys. So I
Right.
guess things got misconstrued. It is what it is. But anyway, on a more important note, playoff football is around the corner.
Let's go.
Playoff football is around the corner. Your Minnesota Vikings, even after losing, even after they have their fate in their own hands and they fell short based on how the NFL season went this past week, they're still in the sixth seed. If the NFL season ended today and the playoffs started, you are going to be facing off against them Detroit Lions, them Dan Campbell Detroit Lions. It would be obviously at Detroit, but if you fall short again and you get that seventh seed, Dak Prescott and CD and them boys are waiting for you up in Dallas. So tell me, how you feel about, I guess, facing off against either one of those two teams, because more than likely,
Mm.
if we make the playoffs, those are going to be, your opponents.
All right. So I will say this. So the Cowboys have beaten one team above 500 this year, but they're good. They're good at home. The Cowboys are good at home.
Right, right,
And
right.
that defense, man, I'm just having nightmares from last time we played them, 40-3. Okay,
Oh, I forgot about that.
you remember that? Okay, and that was when
Okay,
we were moving the ball on offense. So
right. We were
I
fully
know our
equipped.
defense is better, whatever, but
Right,
I
right,
don't want to play. I don't want to go. There's so much pressure on Dak Prescott to win in the playoffs.
right,
I
right,
don't
right,
want I don't want him to make an example on the Minnesota Vikings. So I
mm,
think it's smarter the way the Lions have been playing of recent.
right,
Besides the Broncos, where Jared Goff lit the Broncos defense up for 5 touchdowns, but prior to that, they've been really shaky the past 3 or 4 weeks. Their defense has been shaky. Everybody's been scoring on
mm.
them. So and Jared Goff has been mediocre. So
So
I
you want the
think I would
Lions?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And even if they go out and smoke us one game, I still would rather play the Lions compared to the
To the
Cowboys.
It's funny, bro, because the Lions, we play them two times, right? You play the Lions twice and then the Packers. The Packers are hot right now. It'd be poetic justice if the Packers beat us and get in and we lose to the Lions, just the whole NFC North as a whole. You know what I mean? Just those movable
Right.
parts. Um,
Yep.
but the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell should be in a consideration for coach of the year. I feel like Kevin O'Connell should too, to an extent, based on the circumstances. But Dan Campbell having a Detroit team believing and playing good football, they're not the Detroit Lions. That you know what I mean? They're not the Detroit Lions. Like this is a whole new team, new culture. I know they have some players over there. They have Deion Branch over there. State Brown, the slot receiver, is big. The tight end that they drafted to replace Hawkinson, he's legit.
Yep.
Um, it's not going to be an easy feat. It's definitely not going to be an easy feat. And obviously, Jaron Goff is balling out. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I don't want to see Philadelphia. I don't want to see Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield's been playing out of his mind. I know he put up big stats this week. Tampa Bay, maybe I want to see. Los Angeles Rams are heating up right now. And then we going home early if we go against the San Francisco 49ers.
That's
I
a
mean,
wrap.
you can go ahead and get your Maui tickets together with the JJ Oakley glasses if you go against the 49ers. Dallas, bro, for me, Dallas is fairly similar to the Vikings where they always fall short of expectations.
They do.
I think I'd rather see Dallas. I think
Oh
I
man.
and I don't got the film, I don't got the stats, but I just feel like Detroit's a different animal, bro. I feel like they're a different animal. I feel like they maybe will loosen up the reins these next 2 weeks when we play them because the division is pretty much won. They need to win just like one more division game. But when it's playoff time, Detroit hasn't been in the playoffs in so long that stadium is going to be lit like their hair is on fire. They're going to be ready to go. And Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, when you need it, it may not be there. The stats going to be there, but when you need it, it may not be there. So I'm gonna personally go Detroit. This doesn't change my prediction that I've been telling you the whole time. I feel like the Vikings are going to be either missing the playoffs or they're going to be a one and done team. Um, Circumstances don't really change my opinion. I feel if we had number 8 there, it honestly would have been a similar scenario. Maybe they win one more playoff game, but they would have been sent home because I feel like San Francisco is the overall better team than we are. I feel like Philadelphia is. I feel like Detroit is. So the Rams and the Buccaneers, maybe, but I didn't see no Super Bowl in our prediction anyway. So
I definitely agree with you. I don't see any. I didn't see no Super Bowl in our right now with everything that's going on this year. That's just not
right,
happening. And
okay.
I'll be surprised if we can. I'll be surprised if we make the playoffs. I'm just saying, like,
I think we make it.
I'll be I'll be really shocked.
I think we make it. I think we make it.
It's
And
gonna get crazy.
I think we make it. I think we get sent home. I think we make it. So before we end this episode off, me and you had a conversation on the phone. You want to tell everybody what your prediction is for the Minnesota Vikings next year.
Oh,
And I just want
perfect.
to I just want to keep this recorded. So
Yeah,
when we go back to this, I'll kind of tell you guys what I'll do. So go ahead, Zach.
perfect, perfect. All right, with or without Brian Flores next year,
Right.
you re-sign Kirk Cousins.
Mm.
Kirk Cousins was going to take the Minnesota Vikings to the NFC Championship game next year. Mark it down.
And they're the
Mark it down.
and, and they're the best team in the NFC, right?
We're gonna be the number one seed coming out of the NFC next year.
Perfect. Stamp, click, perfect. So what I told Zach is next year when Kirk Cousins does come back and we fall short like we always do when we are a mediocre team, we're good and not good enough. But when we fall short, we're gonna go back to this video. I'm gonna play this video. I'm not gonna say a word, and I want to hear what excuse it's gonna be this time while we couldn't get the job done. So thank you, Zach, for that. I'm sure the Viking fans appreciate that. So I will definitely be petty when that comes around, and we'll keep that there.
Hey, hey, I think everybody does need to know this though. That on Twitter, like I'm totally for Kirk Cousins. Like a lot of stuff you guys see on Twitter or even whatever.
Right.
It's me. I'm repping Kirk Cousins. I'm repping number 8. If
Yes,
anything you
sir.
see going against that, it's going to come from Dre. So just so
Hey,
you know, and we'll try
right,
to mark it down, but that's kind of what
right.
it is.
My tweets always say Dre on them. So if y'all don't see Dre on them, it ain't from Dre. But nah, this is my brother. My brother's been killing it with the social media stuff, and he's really been keeping the page interactive. So that's it. We want to keep it short and sweet and concise for you guys. It's in the Vikings' hands. Once again, as a Vikings fan, I feel like this is the part where we We lose that when it's in our power. We leave it up to if this team loses and this team, possibly wins this matchup, then we got a chance. It's in the hand. It's in y'all's hands. We love the team. It's a young, feisty team. They have a bright future. Get the job done.
Let's go, baby.
All right, my boy. This is Zach Dre checking out from Skol Sessions, episode 10.
Let's go. Skol, baby. Skol.